Spurs have been awful this season, and I think they need a new manager, and it's not my Spurs supporting dad. No, I want this job instead. And I have been given just 3 years to win the Premier League and the Champions League, or else I'm sacked. I'm taking over as Spurs manager on the 5th of January, where in real life, Spurs then went on to lose to both Bournemouth and West Ham in the league. We are still in 14th place, however, on the day that I begin. We do, though, have a new signing in Conor Gallagher in our side, but Brennan Johnson has moved to Crystal Palace. The form of the last 6 weeks has been dreadful, so I have a plan to change that very quickly and show the board that I am the right man for this job. And it involved utilising one of Spurs' best players, Mickey van de Ven. He has ridiculous pace and acceleration, and so my plan is to use him in a 3 at the back system as an overlapping centre back to create overloads on the left hand side and bring him into defensive midfield when we lose the ball. So it will be very interesting to see if it had any effect in our first match against Bournemouth. A match, of course, that Spurs in real life lost 3-2 to a very late Semenyo goal right before he moved to Manchester City. So let's hope my plan works. Immediately from kickoff, you can already see the intent of our plan as Mickey bombs forward, hoping that he is found in space on the edge of the area. And off the ball, you can see where his positioning lies, of being sat in front of the centre-backs, shielding the defence and forcing them to play it back out wide. We even put the ball in the back of the net within 7 minutes, but Kolo Muani was offside. Finally, in the second half, we did score a goal, but again, the positioning of Mickey, although it wasn't involved with the goal, was exactly what I wanted to see. Defensively, we were solid too, and we held on to the 1-0 win. A huge positive. Especially because all my dad ever complains about with Spurs is that they're defensively so bad. On to the West Ham game then, to see if we can change both of the recent losses into 3 points. And again, it wasn't long before that overload down the left hand side paid off and Mickey got involved, leading to Udogie scoring the opener after just 14 minutes. A second and final goal was scored right on the stroke of half time with a direct ball over the top for Kolo Muani to slot it in perfectly. And it's another clean sheet too. So we are already doing far better than we were up to present day. But within the upcoming game against Burnley, I felt a bit ballsy and I pushed the 2 centre midfielders further forward in possession. And it just about paid off as we won 2-1. We were now up to 6th place, but with Manchester City up next, our first big test, and Erling Haaland has just knocked 5 goals in against Wolves. We wanted to switch back to the original tactic, but a problem was that Mickey van de Ven was out injured for the next 2 weeks. And despite taking the lead, City came back to win the game thanks to an Erling Haaland winner. And it's off to Old Trafford for us next. Still without Pedro Porro and Mickey van de Ven, our defensive frailty shone through as we lacked equality. However, going forward, we were still really good and the scores finished 3-3. So after a month into the job, although we got the new manager bounce, injuries might have cost us recently, picking up more points, and we sat in 10th place with 13 league games remaining. Our main goal, of course, is to qualify for the Champions League because we've got to lift that trophy within 3 seasons or else we are gone. It might be a bit of a stretch to do it this season, however. But even still, a win against Newcastle and a victory in the FA Cup, momentum is back for the league leaders and rivals Arsenal at home next. A win here and the top 4 race is on for us this season. A loss and we might have to rely on potentially qualifying for the Europa League, which I also wouldn't be opposed to trying to win to qualify next season. But what a start we had, as just 12 minutes in, the ball is cut back to you-know-who, doing his job, and he fires it in to put us 1-0 up. And it got even better as Mickey started an amazing attack down the left-hand side. There was runs from Simmons, and then it's 2-0 Spurs. Mickey even added to his goal in the second half with an assist in what turned out to be a 4-0 win. Our run continued with multiple wins against Fulham in both the league and cup, as well as a draw against Liverpool at Anfield and a win against Palace. We were on fire, So not only could we potentially qualify for the Champions League this season, we could also win the FA Cup. That was until we came up against Aston Villa in the quarter-finals, however, as they dumped us out of the competition, winning 4-2 at Villa Park. So the last push in the last 5 games of the season is finishing in 5th place above Chelsea. A 4-1 win against Wolves, where Mickey scores again from a free kick, was then followed by a game against Villa at Villa Park, and Mickey scores the opening goal again. However, 3 points wasn't on the cards for today, as Watkins scored in the 90th minute to equalise. But another draw against Leeds frustrated us, and it's an away trip to the Bridge up next. Some good news for us is that Pedro Porro was back from injury and could start against Chelsea, who weren't exactly in red-hot form either, but a win would put them 1 point above us with just a game to go. We came there for blood though, and put together a beautiful passage of play to take the lead through none other than Pedro Porro. Chelsea fired back though within 5 minutes of our goal going into the net. Before half-time, however, Richarlison found a fantastic second to take back the advantage for Spurs, and we came under incredible pressure to hold on to the lead and the 3 points. But then Pedro Porro decided he was tired of holding on to just a 1-goal lead and created a perfect chance and put it on a plate for Colomboani to make it 3-1 and for Spurs to take the 3 points, guaranteeing us 5th place spot in the Premier League with 1 game to go. A final day win over Everton, and overall looking at the squad, I'm happy, but it's very obvious where we need to improve. Colomboani is only on loan from PSG, and neither Richarlison or Solanke for me is good enough to be a Champions League winning striker. The board, however, have given us £161 million to spend this total in the summer. So I think this summer, target number 1 has to be that star striker, and if we've got any money left, then we should look at possibly going for a goalkeeper, maybe even a centre-back. I started the summer by using the new transfers in tool to advertise that we were looking for a striker, a player who would be world-class himself, or as an important player, or a first-team regular. And we had 6 responses, including the likes of Victor Osimhen and Moise Kean. Ideally, I would want the Nigerian Victor Osimhen. However, I feel like the wages might be a problem, as he's already on over 400k a week, and unfortunately, he still wants a pay rise when he comes to England. So that is completely out of the question. In my opinion, Gonzalo Ramos would be a good option from PSG, and he wouldn't break the bank. And he's asking for fairly reasonable wages too. And a gamble option would be Santiago Castro. A little younger, but potentially with a higher ceiling. However, he would cost roughly the same, and we don't necessarily have time for him to grow. So my instincts suggest that we should bid for Gonzalo Ramos. Rumours of Real Madrid wanting to sign my secret weapon Mickey van de Ven had me a little worried. But a bid never came in, and I'm hoping to bring in his Dutch friend Jan-Paul van Heck from Brighton that might entice him to stay anyway, as we eventually just match his £56 million release clause. And he was very quick to agree terms with us and join the club. The striker situation, however, was taking a little bit longer than I hoped it would. But eventually, a work permit was granted and Ramos agreed to join the club too. And with the remaining money, we brought in goalkeeper Mile Sevilla from Roma for £48 million. It was soon the opening day of the Premier League campaign, and we were without Mickey, who was still recovering from an injury. But we had Crystal Palace as our first opponents in a home fixture, and this was a way of setting the test and trying to get off on the right foot for our first full season in charge. And it was a fantastic performance for us, as Kulusevski opened the scoring on the half-hour mark, and in the second half, Kevin Danso got the second and last goal of the game, as Porro picked up 2 assists. Xavi Simons scored the only goal in the second game, which was a win against Brighton, but it was against Brentford where we shone as 5-1 winners at home. A draw to Everton and a loss in the Carabao Cup dampens our start, but my biggest concern at the minute is Gonzalo Ramos. So far this season, he had 0 goals and just 1 assist. Not exactly what we bought him for. The following month even saw Mickey van de Ven come back from injury and score before Ramos did in a win against Fulham. Ramos' first goal of the season actually came in our Champions League first game of the season versus Villarreal, which we followed up in the next match in the Champions League with a draw against Inter Milan. A big win against surprise promotion side Millwall ended September, and that left us in third place with a game in hand that would level us with Liverpool at the top of the table. The next month was an inconsistent one in the Premier League, as we picked up wins against both Sunderland, beating them 4-0, and Bournemouth 3-0 at home, where Ramos assisted in one game and scored in another. But it also included a loss to Newcastle, where former player Kolo Muani played exceptionally well, getting an assist in a beautifully worked goal, and another loss in London to West Ham, where Bergvall got himself sent off after half an hour, which was a shame because with those 6 points we would be sitting top of the league. The following 6 weeks in the lead up to Christmas was much better, including a big 3-0 win over Chelsea and another 3 wins in the Champions League, keeping us unbeaten in the Champions League phase. 2 big matches were next against both sides of Manchester, starting off with Manchester City first at home. A win for Guardiola's team and they leapfrog us, a win for us, and we face United next from potentially top of the league. Unfortunately for us, City were on top form though, holding on to 60% possession, and after going 2-0 up, we scored to keep us in the game until Savinho banged in a third and killed the game off, which meant the fixture at Old Trafford against Manchester United became an even more important one to keep the title hopes going as we dive into the festive fixtures. And to our relief, there was just 1 goal in the game, scored with a well-worked attack by Xavi Simons, and this left us joint top and only second behind City because of goal difference. December included the North London derby, where we got off to a flying start straight from kickoff. An attack down the left hand side eventually found the feet of Bergvall, who calmly laid it off for Porro to score. And in this 3-1 win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it was another great performance as Ramos banged in a third before half time. December turned out to be a cracking month for us in general, that eventually finished with a 0-0 draw at Anfield, which isn't bad considering they are also part of the 3-horse title race we find ourselves in going into the new year. But of course, the January window is now open and an opportunity arrived that I just could not turn down. That could be amazing for Spurs' future. Because after taking a look at the expiring contracts, I approached Ederson from Atalanta, Grimaldo from Leverkusen, and a 33-year-old Harry Kane from Bayern Munich. For now though, we just cracked on with our season and took every game as it came to us, with our targets in mind for the next 18 months at Spurs. Losing only 1 game in January against Crystal Palace in the Premier League, but that still puts us in top spot for now, while also doing incredibly well in the Champions League, finishing in second place in the league phase. February started by chucking away a 2-goal lead at Stamford Bridge with a brace by Cole Palmer, snatching 2 points away from us. And it also ended with a 2-2 draw at the Etihad after we were 2-1 up, which was frustrating to drop those 4 points so easily, especially because it's City who are still in the title race with us, and the win would have given us a huge advantage, but our focus now switches to the Champions League game against Roma. And after a 2-2 draw in Rome, we got ourselves through to the quarterfinals with a 2-1 home win and Xavi Simons bagging the winner. He is currently our top scorer of the season, with Kulusevski in second, who has been playing up front recently with Ramos. But the next round of the Champions League puts us against Barcelona. Back in the Premier League, and things are going well for us as we creep into April and the final stretch. After a good month with 3 wins ending with a 2-0 home win over Manchester United, we have a big month ahead in the FA Cup, Champions League and Premier League, but we are sitting pretty 1 point clear at the top of the league. We began the month knocking Liverpool out of the FA Cup 3-1 winners at Anfield, and the next round of the FA Cup at Wembley went to a penalty shootout against Forest, and with the scores at 4-4 and with Porro to take the last one, he sends us through to the final, which we weren't expecting. Our trip to Barcelona in the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals was a bit of an eye-opener however, as Barcelona destroyed us quite frankly and beat us 3-0 in the first leg. In between the 2 legs, we also travelled to the Emirates in the Premier League for the North London derby, where we came from 2-0 down to go 3-2 up and then throw it away in the 99th minute thanks to Bukayo Saki equaliser. And so we went into the second leg feeling a lot less confident in the Champions League and our abilities, but you wouldn't be able to tell, as from the first minute Maddison put us 1-0 up. This then followed to make it 2-0 when Bergvall scored a second, and all of a sudden in the second half we pulled it back level when Bergvall got his second of the game. And somehow we continued to go on to win the game 6-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, sending us through to the semi-final of the Champions League to play AC Milan. Even after all that and the draw against Arsenal with 1 month to go, we were still top if we won our game in hand over Manchester City in the Premier League. Before our next fixture though, the Champions League semi-final first leg against AC Milan in Milan, and we got off to a dream start. And it wasn't too long after where we found ourselves a second where Bergvall found Madison. What a player he has become, by the way, developing it seems every single game. But on the night after leading 2-0, we let ourselves down and allowed AC Milan to get back into the game and score, but also then concede another and let them draw level to take the game all square back to London. The home leg though, we once again took an early lead. However, this time we held on to it and kept a clean sheet, meaning we were in the Champions League final. And with a win over Millwall 4-0 and City dropping more points, we are top with a game in hand. In the FA Cup final, we've got Brighton to play, and of course, the Champions League final, which turns out is also against Manchester City. We actually could be on for a treble after only becoming the Spurs manager just under 18 months ago. A frustrating 0-0 draw against West Ham allowed City to jump back ahead by a point, but with us to play Liverpool midweek to regain our top spot into the final day of the league campaign. And with just 9 minutes on the clock, Mo Salah is released and is chopped back inside, got a bite out of Romero, who gave away the penalty, and of course, he isn't missing that. It's 1-0. However, my original plan on day one still works to this day as Mickey van der Ven pops up on the edge of the area to equalise on the 19th minute. In the second half, the next goal was crucial, and I was so happy to see the ball fly into the Liverpool net as we took the lead through Kulusevski. And we capped it off with a third to seal it through my current player of the season, Bergvall, who was the first to Alisson's clearance. So we go into the final day against Bournemouth just having to match City's result. A huge game for Spurs with 2 more finals coming up, but first we could win the Premier League. It only took 5 minutes before we broke the deadlock through Kulusevski, and thankfully it wasn't too long before we killed the game with Porro scoring a second of the eventual 4 goals we put in Bournemouth's net. And we have done it. After joining the side, we're down in 14th place just 18 months ago. Trophy 1 of 2 that we are targeting, the Premier League, now has Tottenham Hotspur being engraved on it. And although we didn't set it as our mission to win it, we did also lift the FA Cup days later with a big win over Brighton, 3-0 on the day, and it's on to the Champions League. Now, I really didn't anticipate us to do this well so soon. I actually thought the 3 years might be quite a bit of a test, but hey, we're 1 game away now from winning the treble. So the biggest game of the season against the team that took us all the way to the Premier League. Me versus Pep Guardiola, Spurs versus Manchester City, who will crown themselves as champions of Europe. Alright, Champions League final, and we're underway with Manchester City taking the kickoff. The kits are a little bit awkward to see in the light, I'll be honest. We need a darker pitch that would help the light blue stand out against the white. Would much rather they played in some sort of away kit, but hey, here we are. We've got to play with white against light blue for reasons unknown. We started off better though. We've actually got a shot on target. They've got 1 shot. Hey, could have been a lot worse. Finally, we got a highlight in the game, but it's Erling Haaland banging down our right-hand side, which is not great, although it's cleared by Van Heck, which is lovely stuff. Can we get to the second ball? Romero now clears it. Kulusevski's headed it on, but again, it's gone to a Manchester City defender, and this isn't good. Right, come on. Where are we here? That's not good. Erling Haaland's banged it in. I think he might be offside, though. Did he go too soon? 20 goals in 14 games. Are you having a laugh? Come on, VAR, disallow it. No, we are 1-0 down. It's counted. How close is this? Oh, he's miles on. Yeah, he's miles on. Van Heck is quite poor defending, actually. We must admit. Is that Van Heck or is that Romero? It's hard to tell. Right, we're about to approach half-time. Unless, this is going to be the... Oh, my God, that was risky, wasn't it? The best time to equalise. Jesus Christ. Oh, I think... Are you just teasing us here? This is ridiculous. I think it's just got to go straight to half-time. I think this highlight is going to be the most pointless highlight ever. There we go. It's half-time. No, it isn't. We'll count that one. We'll have that one, ref. Nobody else heard you whistle. 1-0. This has been a terrible first half, to be honest. We need something better in the second half. I don't really want to make too many, like, early changes either. Let's just demand a little bit more. Shouts are back, ladies and gentlemen. Use them. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to switch to vertical scrolling, which is a new view. Well, I don't know whether it's new. It's a view that I'm really enjoying now because tactically it helps me see when things work. So what I do like, though, is when it's the other way around and we're attacking upwards. I prefer that. So what I like to have a look at, by the way, is where the position of some of my players are. So I know Bergval is there. Where is... So Van Heck, that must be Mickey. So now that we've got the ball, he sits back as that overlapping centre-back. But when we lose the ball, he goes to DM. So what I'm hoping for is when this ball gets played out to Porro, he won't go yet because he's overlapping when it's on this side. But Van Heck is a wide centre-back, so he should technically join in somewhere. Romero, where are you? Romero's here, so he is down the bottom of the pitch. Let's see if that actually happens. So here we go. So Van Heck is the wide player. Now if we go out to the left, Mickey might drive with the ball or at least follow a pass if he gets it out there to Udogie. He does. Xavi Simons. Mickey's dropped off to be the Oh, there we go. Oh, lovely. Xavi Simons. Oh, it's unlucky, to be honest. But that's the reason that's what we're looking for, really. In terms of on the attack, that's what we're looking for. Mickey's having a good game. Pedro Porro, not so much. He's been a bit... Those two and Bergval have been sort of like my highlighted players this season who have been really good. Been solid. Ramos has not been as good until Kulusevski joined him up front. Donnarumma with the goal kick. Where's this going? Gvardiol. It's a gift from Josko Gvardiol. Xavi Simons. Yes, the high press has worked. It's the Champions League final, boys. Why aren't we celebrating a little bit more than this? Look at this for a beautiful pass. Perfect. How does he know he's going there? What a ball. The vision from Josko Gvardiol. If we now win this, insane. That's what brought us into the game. Saar, here we go. Drive. Ramos. Oh, Ramos all the way down there. Mickey, right, now push. There we go. Xavi Simons. What a ball. Udogie. Where's Ramos? Find him. There's Ramos. No. Pedro Porro. Gonna score. He has scored. Get in. What a finish. What a counter-attack that is. From one full-back to another. Pedro Porro's third goal in 9 games. Look at this. What a camera angle too. Udogie finds the perfect ball as he steps up. Good first touch. Bang on the half volley. Donnarumma stands no chance. We've got him down the right-hand side. Doku going, oh, I should have tracked back, but I didn't. It's now 2-1 in the 81st minute. This is a kickoff highlight, though. I do not like them. As you can see, I thought our attacks would come more from the left because Rico Lewis is sitting inside as like an inverted wing-back. Whereas they're now like sort of playing through at the back. Oh, here we go. Xavi Simons. Oh, he just ran straight into him. 3 of you there and you've decided to run into him. A 3-on-1. That was a terrible decision. What a ball out to Foden that was. Oh, there's another ball. Oh, good clearance. Can we? Let's give a free kick. It's a dangerous area for a free kick. Who's taking it? Haaland on the free kicks. Uh-oh. Foden. Don't get him, shoot. That's got to be off. It's not off. He's not offside. Oh, fuming. Was that like a deflection? It looks like it deflects. When he gets that onto his left. Oh, Kulusevski's block shot goes straight to him. Well, I haven't made a sub. Not made a sub. Does anybody need to be subbed? I kind of don't want to. 4 minutes. Ooh. I like the idea of bringing on Maddison, who has been quite good. Now, that is a wishful ball, that. Don't like that at all. We've just given that away. Doku down the left now. It's going to cause us some trouble. Because where's Porro? Haaland? No. Right. Is that the highlight? That looked poor. I would like the highlight to continue, ideally. I think we've got something better in our locker when we're all set up. No, it's not. That was the highlight. Okay. There's an opportunity with 20 seconds left. Please. Oh, my God. Please. Mickey, down the left. Oh, that would be it. Oh, my God. He's nearly scored an own goal. Udogie. There's 10 seconds remaining. Xavi Simons. Oh, look at the press. It's too much. It's gone to extra time. The full-time whistle has been blown. I'm checking my watch because I want to get home to watch the traitors. Come on, boys. Come on. Keep working hard in extra time. Done well so far. Keep going. That's what we need. Bit of motivation. Let's demand a little bit more. We've also got to switch the camera back because, again, it needs to be where I'm attacking. This is where I prefer it. Looking up. It's so difficult with the kit colours. Lovely stuff, though. There we go. Ramos. Give it to him. Oh, lovely. Pedro Porro. There's the ball. Bergvall. Oh, it's a terrible miss. He's onside too. That's an awful miss from Bergvall. All right, we just banged it back to them again. Are we really, like, just under the cosh here? There we go. Give it back to him. Oh, there's a ball. Gonzalo Ramos is in. Oh, my God. We spent so much money on you. No wonder PSG wanted to keep Colin Muani instead. And then sold Colin Muani anyway to Newcastle. Oh, that's so frustrating. It's the perfect counter-attacking ball over the top, that. Half-time. Come on. I hate penalties. I hate them. I would take anything over penalties. Other than a loss. Oh, Doku. Van Heck. There we go. Right. Calmly find someone. That's a lovely ball to Ramos. There's... Oh, I thought... Again. Lewis looks too much like he's in a Spurs shirt. Ramos has done so well. Ramos. Xavi Simons. Oh, it's been blocked. I still haven't made a sub. I need to make a sub. Madison? Madison might have scored that. Other than Madison, I don't quite know who to bring on. Jed Spence for Porro. It's a bit of a risk, I'll be honest, because Porro's been so good, and Jed Spence is not as good, is he? But he's on a yellow. Bergvall. It's also fresh legs. Bergvall down the right. Go on then, Jed. Overlap. Please, there we go. 1-2s. A 1-2-3. Keep going, Jed. Go on, Jed. Bergvall. He's found him again. It's gone in. It's Saar. And Jed. Well, the substitutes. The substitute of Jed Spence. I nearly died because I'm joking. Is this going to go to VAR? I did think there could be a VAR check. It's counted. Come on. He's definitely on. Jed Spence did try to shoot. But Saar is in. I almost took Saar off too. But we haven't exactly been playing Conor Gallagher, who's our only DM. He's got no fitness whatsoever, match experience. Come on, hold on now. Hold on to this. 2 minutes left. Gotta be. We've done it in just 18 months. From 14th place in the league, we've gone on and we've rebuilt this horrible Spurs team that Thomas Frank is wasting. And within 18 months, I gave myself 3 years. In 18 months, we've won a bloody treble. Unbelievable. Well, there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. And also, I am a little bit annoyed it didn't go to the 3rd season. I'll quickly show you why. The reason why I was quite excited for season number 3 is because we had both Harry Kane and Grimaldo joining the club on free transfers. I mean, Grimaldo alone is amazing down that left-hand side. He would have been an exceptional player to add to the team. But Harry Kane being back would have just solved all of our striker problems that I think we've had within the last 2 seasons. If we had had a striker in that tactic with those players, by the way, who's playing Harry Kane in goal? That makes 0 sense. Or defensive midfield. Either way, we would have been absolutely golden. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. On screen right now is a video where Dad and I did a retro rebuild against each other using Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo in their prime at Real Madrid and Barcelona.